Whoa there. Be careful getting in. Everybody in? Okay, on we go. Welcome to the Skull Island Safari,
where you will see creatures trapped in time.
We will be your tour guides, Sore Loser,
and Orongaloo.
And go ahead and check your maps for me. Our route today will be taking us through the lowlands, highlands, waterways, and the chasms.
We might get lucky and see some of Skull Island's most iconic inhabitants.
Please remember to never exit the vehicle and turn off all flash photography. Thank you, and enjoy. Y'all can thank Carl Denham for this tour, thanks to his Project Legacy expeditions making this island a safer place to explore. Although the many lives during those expeditions let you know to never underestimate this exotic place. That's right, please do not try to feed any of the wildlife, and absolutely no petting. We are only supplied with 3 tourniquets per jeep.
Hey folks, go ahead and look out on your left. You can see some ruins abandoned by the island's lost civilization.
This civilization revered the giant apes that once roamed the island, as evidenced by their art left behind. Nobody knows what exactly happened to them, but it's thought they disappeared about 1,000 years ago. Thankfully, they built very sturdy structures that we use today to pass into the lowlands.
This area of the island is actively sinking into the ocean, constraining all the animals of the island into a tighter area.
Speaking of animals, we are coming up on a herd of Brontosaurus. Look at the size of them. Each Brontosaurus baxteri, or Baxter's thunder lizard, can reach a height of over 100 feet.
That's right, and their weight can reach between 70 to 105 tons. They move in herds, clearing large swaths of trees as they go.
Now I know what you're thinking. What's the difference between these and their extinct relatives?
Well, that's an easy one, Sor. These Brontos are ovoviviparous. They give birth to between 1 and 3 live young. This is due to the limited space of the island, and ensures overpopulation isn't an issue.
Wait. Folks, can you feel that? That's the Brontos communicating over distances via stomps. Let's get a little closer.
Stop! Stop! We can't get too close to those Styracosaurus.
Another of Skull Island's famous dinos, whose name means horned ironhide, probably evolved from Pachyrhinosaurus. Growing between 24 and 34 feet long, the herd-dwelling herbivores can usually be found following the Brontosaurus herds around, as they like to clear the low brush that are opened up to them.
Unlike the Brontosaurus, these guys are hatched by eggs still. They are quite tough and make for dangerous prey for the island's carnivores. I mean, just check out the horns and nose boss. And those frills grow larger as they age, which are primarily used for dominance displays between males. Yeah, you in the back.
What is that one doing?
Why, it's rubbing up against a termite mound, of course. They have a special relationship with Skull Island's termites. While their skin is tough enough to withstand their bites, most dermal parasites are not. That reminds me of a close call I had when looking for somewhere to... What?
Do you hear that?
Folks, please remain calm. It's just a herd of Ligon. Look at them go. These duck-billed dinos are highly vocal, and the most numerous herbivore on the island by far. With their herd...
Everyone, quiet. Phew.
That, folks, was a close one.
Let's start going towards our next destination. Consider yourselves lucky we just witnessed Skull Island's largest terrestrial apex predator in action and lived to tell the tale. Vastatosaurus Rex, or Ravager Lizard King. They are descended from Tyrannosaurids, but have evolved some unique differences, like having 3 fingers on their forelimbs for helping to pin carcasses closer to them, while their early cousins used to have only 2.
Don't forget that their skulls are intensely reinforced with thick bone, and that they sport a large gap between the ribs and hips to allow for increased flexibility.
Now you're gonna need that here on Skull Island, with all its rocky terrain. That one we just saw was probably an adult, judging from the size. But they usually grow to 50 foot long and about 20 feet high.
Did you know that their black scales aid in them warming up quickly in the morning, boosting their energy levels over the sluggish herbivores?
You're just full of fun facts, ain't you?
Here's another one for you. Due to the shrinking landmass of Skull Island, the population of V-Rexes have drastically declined.
Ooh, I did know that one.
Well, this has caused inbreeding among the population to occur, resulting in their more monstrous and deformed appearances.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the snaggle teeth, asymmetrical body proportions, ridged backs, and their heightened aggression.
You mean they didn't always look like that?
No, they didn't. This also explains your question, you asked.
And for some reason, all three Vastatosaurs are just gunning for Anne. Like, they will not stop trying to eat her.
Those V-Rexes just wanted to kill, and so they kept trying.
Folks, make sure you tip your tour guide. He is just so good at his job. Alrighty, as we make our way down this game trail, do look to your left and spot a pair of Lysosaurs. They may look mammalian-like, but they are actually, in fact, reptiles. Mating for life, they are primarily carrion eaters.
Probably drawn near by the scent of that V-Rex's kill.
Probably. Excuse me, ma'am. You seem to have a meat weevil on your shoulder.
A what?
A carrion insect. Don't worry, it's harmless. Here, I got you.
Thanks.
Careful now, we're approaching a grassland.
Good point. Let's stop here and take a look around to see if we can spot anything.
There!
I see it. Folks, look out to your right, and about 2 o'clock.
There it is again!
A Brutornis? Think we are too close?
No, I think it's preoccupied.
Alright, everyone. The Brutornis, or heavy bird, is Skull Island's largest forest wrasset, coming in at about 12 feet tall and weighs about half a ton. They have excellent eyesight and are apex predators of the grasslands.
It looks like this one is nesting its eggs. And look, about 20 feet to its right, you can see two Lysosaurs slowly approaching, and notice how one is trying to get the Brutornis's attention. That's because they're trying to lead the mother away in order to feast on the unguarded eggs. It's a dangerous game, though, that can easily end in disaster.
It can be quite the spectacle, everyone, but let's not stick around, lest the Brutornis be led to us as the distraction. While we are traveling, keep your eyes out for any of Skull Island's impressive birds. I am particularly a fan of the brightly colored carrion parrots. And if you could take a peek at your maps, we are approaching one of the swamps that Skull Island's many waterways lead to. I hope you brought your swim trunks. Just kidding. Take my recommendation and stay out of the water here, as you may encounter something like the Pteranodon. With the females growing up to about 50 feet, they specialize in ambush tactics.
That's right, you aren't even safe on shore.
They hunt sections of river with edges that slope steeply, which allow it to sit just below the water's surface, where it uses its enlarged barbels to pick up vibrations.
Once it sees a shadow cast over the water, BAM! It's lights out for the prey.
And thanks to its double-hinged jaws, prey is almost always swallowed whole. And while not having any active predators, they are plagued by parasites, like the Estrovermis, that burrows through its skin to get to the veins, and the Cuticids, a parasitic crab that eats at a wound it both creates and protects. Because of this, the Pteranodon has adapted an interesting strategy. It will beach itself for a short while, allowing the cleaning birds and lizards time to eat these parasites away before returning to the water.
Isn't nature beautiful?
Not as beautiful as some of the invertebrates it shares the waters with, like the Morophyllix, which uses bait to attract diving birds right to it, where the Neopede grabs hold of its prey. And, right as we pull up, the Scorpiopede. Look at how many there are. They are by far the most numerous Neopedes on Skull Island.
They form colonies in bodies of water bordered by crops and their favorite food, algae. As larvae, they are predatory swimmers, and as adults, they live around the waterline. They are incredibly territorial, reacting to any incursions by arching their backs and showing off their venomous tails.
And what does that venom do?
For most mammals and birds, one jab could kill them in just a few minutes. That's why you see their territory relatively undisturbed.
Pretty scary, huh? Don't worry, we won't be getting any closer. Although I know some of you have noticed the mosquitoes starting to swarm us even at this distance. You can thank Carl Denham for the nets, but if you look close enough, you might be able to spot a few specific species, like the mortispus, or the death wasp, and the spinaculix, or the red-colored needle gnat. If you spend enough time near the waterways of Skull Island, you can catch a glimpse of the many species of fish, and even some more peculiar species like the swampwing, a bizarre frog with enlarged membranes between their fingers and backs that function much like bat wings.
You can spot them occasionally swooping between trees.
They freak me out though. So let's get a move on to our next destination, the jungles of Skull Island. Now it is in the jungles that you will find the most interesting and diverse group of animals the island has to offer.
Like the feathered devil? With their attenuated scales that look like feathers?
Yes.
Or the megapede Dorepanesis, the largest centipede in the world, growing to about 4 feet long?
That too, and...
Oh, what about the Venatosaurus?
That's the ticket. Tell them about those fellas.
Venatosaurs, or furious hunter lizard, grew to between 16 and 24 feet long. They are descended from Cretaceous period dromaeosaurids and display pack-hunting behaviors usually seen in mammals. These predators are the only ones on the island that actively prey on Brontosaurus, usually by herding them off cliffs or into dead ends.
Pretty much any herbivore of any size are on the menu for Venatosaurus, as they always seem to have a plan to take prey down. That being said, keep your eyes open, people. If you see one, let us know immediately so we can call for help. We are most certainly on their menu as well, and make no mistake, each time we run into them, they create a plan to deal with us as well.
We could also run into a photodon.
Oh, don't even get me started on them. As adults, they are jungle predators that prowl the edge of game trails and sort through leaf litter piles. Its back scoots indicate it has crocodilian ancestry, but what I find the most interesting about them is the fact that they are always covered in wounds. They usually contract skin diseases from rotting leaf piles, and it doesn't help that the photodon thrusts its face into whatever it can regardless of its decomposition state.
You can often smell them from far away, like a bear.
But that's not what we came to see here, good people. No, we came to see the chasm. It might not look like much from up here, but nowhere is more dangerous on this island than inside that pit. Many, and I do mean many, researchers and explorers have met their fate down there.
Tell them why.
Simply put, these chasms are where most dead and decaying things end up, be that plant or animal. Scavengers and opportunists alike have become top of the food chain. Animals like
Decarnocymics. These oversized relatives of crickets use their bladed forelimbs for tearing apart carcasses. They are extremely aggressive and care not if you are still alive to start slicing. Their name means flesh-removing bug, and they can grow between 5 to 10 feet long.
You may also run into packs of Weta rexes, growing to 2 to 3 feet long. They are related to the Wetas of New Zealand. Also extremely aggressive, they can tear even the toughest of dinosaurs into tiny shreds with their huge swarms. The Deplector may save you from a fall though. These land crabs live in crevices and throw all of their weight into each lunge. They rely on stringy secretions from their abdomen to stop from falling out, and are very accurate with their grabs. If you get past all of that, the nightmare fuel that is Carnictus awaits you. Carnictuses are little more than an animated stomach that folded in and out of itself with obscene undulation. They live in the black sludge that is the fluid of all the decaying waste heated by geothermal activity. Evolving from tapeworms, they relentlessly attack the dead and dying. If, for whatever reason, you fall into one of these chasms, pray that the impact kills you.
Wow, morbid.
Now, we will circle back to our starting point, folks. Keep your eyes out for some additional animals along the way. If you look up and to your right, you can spot a skin bird patrolling for food, one of Skull Island's unique flying rodents. What we just almost hit, folks, was a gladiodon. They are characterized by its fiery stripes, feather-like dorsal fin, and long saber teeth. Often they pounce on prey and bite once and follow the wounded animal until it has collapsed.
I still want one as a pet, but they won't let me bring any home.
And that, folks, ends our tour. Thank you very much for taking the time to tag along. And we hope you enjoyed. Shout out to Arongaloo. He has an awesome channel with dinosaur content that is right up my alley. So you should go over and check him out. Maybe drop a subscription for being such a good tour guide.
Hey, I'm the tour guide. My name's Arongaloo. I killed a homeless person. And now fuck off.
Thank you, and see you in the next one.